Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. This year's Ford Freedom Award will honor 3 African-American heroes who've demonstrated the power of perseverance. The late South African President Nelson Mandela, civil rights activist Myrlie Williams, and Tuskegee Airman Alexander Jefferson will be celebrated on May 21st at the Music Hall. Proceeds from the event benefit the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. I'm pleased to have the president and CEO of the museum here today, Juanita Moore. Joining her is Pam Alexander, who's the Director of Community Development and Fund Operations for the Ford Motor Company Fund. Welcome to American Black Journal. Pam, we gotta do something about your title. That is way too long. I've known you for a long time. I did not know that was your title.
Usually it's just Director of Community Development. We cut it off there because after that it's a little long. You're right.
So this is a great thing for the museum, and 3 great names that you guys are honoring this year.
Absolutely, we're really excited, and as always, it's terrific to be able to partner with Ford. And you know, Pam's been at this a lot longer than I have.
Well, I don't know, not that much.
That's right, not
don't
that
date
much longer.
I mean, with the Ford Freedom Awards. Yeah, she started out with the Ford Freedom Awards.
Yeah.
So I sort of came in along the way, but it really is an exciting time for the museum and actually for the city of Detroit.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about these awards and how you come up with the people who you want to honor with them.
Well, you know, this is the 16th year of the Ford Freedom Awards. It was started, you know, as a major fundraiser for the right, because that is such a treasure for our city.
Yeah.
And each year we select a theme and then honor individuals within that theme, both someone posthumously as the Ford Freedom honoree, and then someone who is carrying on, if not carrying on their work, that embodies the spirit of the honoree, and that's our Ford Freedom Scholar. So this year we selected perseverance because, you know, in difficult times, you know, perseverance is important.
Yeah. And that's a great theme for Detroit right now,
absolutely.
too, right?
Talk about a city that has the power of perseverance.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we selected the honorees. We have a committee that selects the honorees, and of course, you know, with so many people and all of us celebrating the life of Nelson Mandela this year, he just seemed like a very natural.
This is the 5th or 6th different award or honoring of him that I've seen around Detroit.
Well, there can't be too many.
Yeah, right. You got to keep reminding people of that, right?
He's such a fabulous example of perseverance. Not just perseverance, but someone who understood the importance of giving back and what change could do in making everyone's lives better as he looked to make his own better.
Right.
I mean, he's such a great example for all kinds of things. So,
right, and how longevity gives you such opportunity to sort of come back and sort of change and come back around to things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to do earlier in your life.
Yes.
I think it's amazing because if you look at all 3, if you look at President Nelson Mandela, and then Myrlie Williams, and of course Lieutenant Colonel Jefferson, the things that they went through. I mean, talk about perseverance for an extended period of time. One could have expected any one of them, and justifiably, to be very angry individuals who didn't want to kind of do what they did later in their lives, which was to really keep going in the cause and to persevere, because any 3 of them could have very easily said, you know, that's it, I've had enough. I'm angry, I'm done. And none of them did. That's the amazing thing about this year's honorees.
So tell me what happens on May 21st.
Well, it's a culmination, actually, of several months because, of course, everyone knows about the gala and the awards in the evening, but an important part of the Ford Freedom Award program is the educational program.
Right.
Absolutely.
So with newspapers and education, we sent out educational materials to tens of thousands of students throughout the entire state. They learned about not only the honorees, but it was an entire supplement with various individuals who had persevered. So, for example, Gabby Douglas is in it.
Okay.
You know, so someone who's a little younger.
The Olympian.
Very current, absolutely.
Right.
And they've been studying about that with a teacher's guide for months. And then we have an essay contest. And we had more than 1,600 students throughout the state enter the essay contest to win. We're going to award roughly $10,000 in scholarships. And that just in the morning when the scholar and President Mandela's grandson will address 1,600 middle school students from around the state.
Right. Tell me about these essays. I'm always curious what young people write about. How old were the kids who did
Middle
these?
schoolers.
These are middle schoolers.
These are middle schools.
These are kids who are ready to write and think. So I would imagine you got some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
We had some tremendous ones, and we had judges, and we did the final judging earlier this week, and it was very difficult. It was a long evening because you want to just make them all first place winners. But we had essays, everything from bullying to overcoming financial obstacles and young kids who had lost their parents and had difficult situations because of that, to trying to run a 5K for the first time with her dad. So we had, I would say, Juanita, we had a lot
Health
of
issues,
different.
young people that overcome health issues, just really struggling in school, learning how to, to just try to keep up and catch up, starting way behind.
Right,
And,
right.
and just, really working really, really hard to do something.
Right.
Students who, young people who, they just went through a divorce. The divorce of a parent.
Of their parents, sure.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, all of those kinds of things that we don't think about for young people. The really terrific thing about this is that they had to talk about something where they persevered. So it gave them an opportunity to really sort of examine their lives and think about what they had, what had happened to them in their lives and how they got through it.
And how it changed them or
Absolutely.
taught them or things like that. And the scholarships are for college, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
so they can use them for their furthering their education post high school. So that's a really exciting piece, and that's in the morning at what we call the Scholars Lecture, also at Music Hall.
Right,
And we
right.
bring in students from around the state for that.
This is a critical time for the museum too. I feel like because of what's going on with the bankruptcy and some of the other cultural institutions that are involved in that, I feel like the time is now to really start talking about how do we preserve this museum the way it should be.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely is. And I think that, we use these kinds of programs to really call attention to the kinds of things that we do, the impact that we have in the community, the range of programs that we have in the range of people that we serve. So, this is a great opportunity to continue to put the museum front and center in front of, folks in this community and beyond.
Right. Is this the major fundraising event for the museum every year?
It's one of them.
It's
yes,
one of them.
We have two.
Okay.
For a long time, it was the only one,
Okay.
frankly.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons that it was so important, that it was the only major fundraiser that the museum did.
Yeah.
And 3 years ago, we added another gala. But yeah, it's one of two major fundraisers.
Yeah.
For the museum.
And the importance of the community here participating in this fundraiser or giving to the museum more generally, I think probably has not been more important than it is right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a real critical time for the Charles Wright Museum as well as a number of other cultural institutions.
Yeah.
And not only do you get an opportunity to support the museum and the work that we do, but you get an amazing program.
Right.
As well, so
Right,
which is
right.
really important.
Yeah.
You get a chance to hear Myrlie Evers and Nelson Mandela's grandson who will
right,
come
right.
and be here to accept the award, and Colonel Jefferson. He has a fabulous story.
Yeah,
as well.
talk more about Colonel Jefferson. I mean,
he's
people
amazing.
will know the first two names, I think, instinctively, but he's less popular, I guess.
Well, I think we're, and it's interesting because there's a lot of interest in the Tuskegee Airmen. We are so lucky. We have several of the original Tuskegee Airmen right here in Southeast
Detroit,
Michigan.
sure.
In fact, he's had a crazy number of hits on the Facebook
Is that
site
right?
about this. Yes, people are
fact-
really interested in his story because I believe he is the last surviving Tuskegee
He's
Airman
the
who
last,
was a POW.
right.
And then he became a teacher later in life. He's just an amazing, amazing gentleman. And then another little sneak preview: the person presenting him the award is yet another legendary airman.
Oh, is that right?
At the Ford Freedom Awards,
Yes.
absolutely.
Very good.
Yes, yes.
So, but he's written a book and he's taught, and just the struggles that he had to go through,
Right.
just to be a pilot, and
Right.
then of course
Being a
going
POW.
on
And
being
he
a
was a
POW,
POW.
Being
right?
POW as well.
Right.
And I mean, she's right. He got more Facebook hits than anybody.
Than the others?
Really,
Is that right?
yes.
Got a lot of
yes.
Facebook hits.
When we put him up there, it's like everybody was really
Right.
Interested in learning
Interested
story,
in
maybe
learning
because
about
it's less
him.
well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the museum, the museum has done, I feel like, a really good job of sort of capturing that Tuskegee Airmen sort of intersection with Detroit, which is more important than I think people think it is.
Absolutely. We've done several exhibitions on them, and in fact, we're working with them right now to work with their collection and maybe having some announcements soon about how we will be working with them to sort of present and preserve that collection.
Yeah, yeah. At Ford, you guys, like you said, you do this every year, but this is part of a bigger sort of commitment that you have to Detroit and Southeast Michigan and philanthropy.
Right. I mean, Ford Fund, which is the philanthropic arm, has been a major, major investor in our region for decades. I mean, since we were founded more than 100 years ago. We have partners like the Charles H. Wright in the arts, but we also support community development organizations, hunger organizations, and as you know, we just announced an incremental $10 million investment roughly a year and a half ago. We have the new Ford Resource and Engagement Center that we opened in Southwest Detroit that's doing great things in the community there, in addition to a client choice food hub. You know, we're offering work training programs there, dance classes, senior citizen Zumba, it's you name it, it's going on. I don't think I can keep up with them in that. I've watched that class, but it's been a great community center for us, and we're really proud of that. That's the keystone of that new investment. So yes, we've been invested in this city and this region for a long time, and we will be for a long time.
And the connection between the fund and the museum, how did that go?
Well, of course, the museum is a major cultural institution. We have been a major funder of the museum through various campaigns in addition to programming. It's the largest of its kind in the world.
Yeah,
and I hope people here realize that and what a treasure it is. It's just a natural fit because of the many things and the many programs that the museum has. Going back to some of the essay contests, one of our essay contest finalists came in from Grand Rapids.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Drove in.
One was in the UP. We Skyped her in. That was
we Skyped in the UP. Oh, that was really
fair,
She was really excited.
So that's why it's important to have a program like this, because you really are for
you're reaching all over
the entire state.
All over the state.
The entire state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you worry that with the bankruptcy and the amount of philanthropic money that's going into trying to get us through that the institutions that have not come up in the bankruptcy will have a harder time getting the money they need going forward? I guess I'm expressing my own worry there that places like the Wright could be in worse shape going forward than they have been.
Well, there's no doubt about it that the fact that that money is as I used to teach my daughter when she was younger, you only spend it once.
Right. Can't spend a dollar twice, right?
You only spend it once, and so that really is. That is some concern to us. But we really are working hard to work on sustainability for the museum.
Right.
And we are talking to other Detroit Historical Museum as well. And
they're in the same boat.
They're in the same boat as we are, and so we really are leaving no stone unturned to make sure this happens. And we are very, very fortunate to have partners like the Ford Fund. That's been with the museum for such a long time and continues to be with the museum. And I think that
but we need more. We
have to have more. Absolutely.
And more individuals, I feel.
That's really the key. In fact, we instituted a new program called Give a Grand, Make a Million. It's identifying 1,000 individuals to give the museum $1,000, which will give us $1 million worth of income every year.
I see.
And you don't have to do it for if you don't have $1,000, you can do it at $83 a month, and that because we do have to really expand the number of individuals that's giving to the museum.
Right, and we've got to build an endowment that will sustain the museum on its own going forward. That's the real challenge I think that people don't get with cultural institutions is you want to be able to have that operating money there without fundraising.
Right, because nobody wants to pay the utilities.
Right, that's right.
Everybody wants to, support a really interesting program, but the utilities, and you have to pay the utilities.
Yeah.
And we have a beautiful, beautiful building, but trust me.
One of the best spots in the city.
It does cost.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can't be cheap to maintain
the
that.
utilities are there, yes.
That
Ford
high ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ford Rotunda, that dome brings in sun in the summer, and in the winter, the heat goes
right out the top of it.
So,
right?
But it's a beautiful.
It's a beautiful facility, and we absolutely, and I think it is a treasure to Detroit.
It is. Well, to the whole state, really.
Yes, it really is.
And it's not a place that enough people, I feel like, go to or help support.
And the thing about it is that the kind of programming and the things that we do, they're not duplicated anyplace
Somebody else cannot do that. That's
and
right.
they don't do it. It's not. You have any other. Talk about any other museums that you have and other institutions, cultural institutions you have. They don't do the same thing that we do. We have a very unique mission.
Yeah. And so if somebody wants to go to the May 21st event, they just buy tickets, right?
They can buy tickets through Music Hall or go through FordFreedomAward.com. We have 2 sets of tickets. We have VIP tickets. I think we have a few of those left.
Okay.
That include a meet and greet with the honorees, and a photo op, which is a real
Which would
treasure.
be something.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then we have general admission tickets, which are still great tickets because it's going to be a really great show. And we should also mention that we have a performance by Dennis Edwards and the Temptations.
Oh, very good.
Concert. So if you feel like dancing at the end, we've got
not Detroit without Motown.
It's
right?
not. That's right. That's right. That's right. Plus, you know, we could not bring Nelson Mandela's grandson all the way to Detroit and not give him Motown.
That's right.
No way.
That's
Absolutely.
right. No way. That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good luck with the event, and thanks for being here.
Good talking
Hope to
with
see you there.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.